Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Today, for a change from our usual routine, after hearing our talk or the thoughts shared by many, one devotee was kind enough, Gina, to put down those points and they sent it to us. Today we will just go through. For half an hour we will just go through. And half an hour if anybody could raise any point that we can discuss. Because this will help us, It is, I think the recording started from 13th January. So, we will just read out the points. And there will be a pause so that everybody can remember if it has already been forgotten. Dialogue with him once a day through mental chanting. Dialogue with him at least once a day through mental chanting. Pray for feeling his presence within at least once a day. Pray for feeling his presence within at least once a day. Create your own original prayer. Create your own original prayer. Not to see fault with others. Not to see fault with others. Recede from the vanishing form means go to the source of everything. Recede from the vanishing form means going to the source of everything. Probably these were the important points that were discussed on the 13th. There could be more. Dialogue with him once a day at least through mental chanting. Pray for feeling his presence within at least once a day. Create your own original prayer. Not to see fault with others. Recede from the vanishing form means go to the source of everything. You will go to the 14th, then you again come back. Treat everything as a test. Test not to harass us or wound us, but to refine us. Treat everything as a test. Test not to harass us, wound us or offend us, but to refine us. Sometimes we may not be able to bring in the fact that God is testing us. But can we accommodate everyone without having ill will for the other person? Sometimes we may not be able to bring in the fact that God is testing us through some person who differs with us, who does exactly opposite to what we are thinking. In that case, can we accommodate everyone without having ill will for the other person? We may say, we may forget. But these were the questions that were raised. Equanimity is yoga. Samatvam. Samatvam yogamuchyate. we are looking at ourselves. The presence of God may not be in the way we perceive. The presence of God may not be in the way we perceive. Self-effort is needed, but don't worry about the result. We have been prompted to do, no? We have only the right to do, but don't think about the result. Place yourself totally at the feet of God. Place yourself totally at the feet of God. Prayer with feelings in an original way. When we pray, whether it is heard or not, we should accept everything cheerfully. Because when we pray, suppose we expect something, again, we may not accept. So we should accept everything cheerfully. Fixed resolve, sustained faith, optimistic outlook. Start with what is happening now and here. Start with what is happening now and here. The fact that we sit and listen shows his care and concern for us. It is not an individual that is working. It is he who is working and facilitating all these things. Now, before we go to the 15, does anyone remember anything more or on the same subject? Because this has happened 1 month back, 13th and 14th of January. Today is 15th of February. Every likelihood is there that we might forget. But do we remember? So we are facing these 2 days before everybody. And see how we try to brush. Yes.
Swamiji, feeler, thinker, doer, all is God. Feeler, feeling, thinker, doer, all are God.
The one behind feeling, thinking and doing, that power. We have read so many points now. Does anybody remember anything?
Yeah, remember only some points.
Or everything has gone to the, in computer language we say, recycle bin.
Swamiji, going to the source of everything.
Good. That will help us. Even if we forget, suppose sometime when we remember this, that will help. Yes, like that will come. We are watching ourselves whether when we heard about what is going on 1 month back, are we in a position to open that file or we are unable to locate that file? Everybody searching, enough? Is everybody searching?
Swamiji, me to him, me to we.
Like Krishna, he said, me to him outward, me to me to him inward, me to we outward.
Outward.
Now we are talking about whatever we have read now. These were the points covered on 13th and 14th of January. All of us have been religiously coming and attending. Whether we have closed that file and kept it somewhere, whether we were able to open and then freshen it. This is a test for our sadhana, na?
Swamiji, be the period ever so small.
That has not come, Okay. Be the period ever so small. Good.
Swamiji, Hari Om Pranam Swamiji, if anything happened, whether it is good or bad, you have to take that as a test.
Now, test.
Test, Swami.
Good.
Swamiji, Hari Om. Hari Om, Swamiji. Duty has to be kept in mind. Duty has to be kept in mind. Impartiality to be strictly maintained. God will guide during tough situations. No malice, no disrespect, but only dispassionately carrying out duty is the utmost thing to do.
So, when was it?
Discussed on 13th.
13th. Oh, that was not pointed out. Okay, very good.
Hari Om, Swami.
Very good. Once again you read.
Duty has to be kept in mind.
The duty has to be kept in mind. Duty at the household level, of the professional level, at the social level. Here.
Impartiality to be strictly maintained.
Impartiality has to be strictly maintained. Because then we are doing it only for the sake of duty. Here the person's relationship or our nothing matters. Impartial. Absolutely impartial. Then.
God will guide during tough situations.
God will guide on such situations. Very nice.
One point is, our duty is only to pray, accept whatever He gives gladly, accept what is away. Our duty is to pray, whatever is given by Him, we have to accept it gladly. Up to answer also.
Okay. Very good then.
No malice, no disrespect, but only disrespect, but only dispassionately carrying out duty is the utmost thing to do.
Good. Only dispassionately do the utmost. Very good.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om. Then. Anything else anybody remembers on the 13th and 14th, or whatever we have read, whether it is coming back to us?
Swamiji, anxiety, pains, etc. all are our own making. In the individual level. Anxiety, etc. all are our own making.
Yeah.
At higher levels, it become free from this. We will become free from this.
Only from the individual level.
Try to move over higher levels.
Good.
Swamiji, reduce the want.
Simple living. Yeah.
Simple living.
Very good. Everything we may not be able to remember. At least one in a day. That's all. So that is the session now we will have for another 2-3 days. So that it will not become a superficial, mental exercise or vocal exercise, where we ask, we share or something like that. No. We want to go a little more deeper than the superficial level. So somebody was kind enough to jot down. That is why they were able to send. And we were requesting everybody to jot down, because our mind is likely to forget. So that we don't treat this as a 1 hour. We take it as an intense study, because we named it as in-depth study of IQG. So when there is an in-depth study, there should be an consciously we should try to record in our mind some of the things which will help us in our sadhana. So kindly Try to remember.
Swamiji,
If you want again, tell me.
meditate and chant. Meditate and chant. I think that's come on 13th, 14th. Meditate and chant. Meditate and chant.
Okay, good.
Hari Om Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Accommodate all situations and conditions and persons also. It is equanimity is yoga.
Yeah.
Accommodate all situations and circumstances and all
Good.
persons. Equanimity is God. Yoga.
Okay.
Swamiji, to see Papa in everyone, and whatever is we are doing for Papa.
But is that word
Seva.
Papa clear?
Yes, Swamiji. For me, it's Papa is clear.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Srirangam, those two people who are doing bhajan, they didn't get till afternoon, they did the bhajan, but they got only 9 paise. So they were worried. At that time, Papa says, it was one which is completely imprinted and me is that Papa says, God is always kind and loving. He never forsakes those who depend upon Him. Ram has sent through his humble slave money for your food today. So saying, he dropped into the hands of sadhus 1 rupee out of the amount he was then carrying with him. So the poor sadhus simply stared at him in amazement. Their eyes were filled with tears. They exclaimed, "O God, Thy ways are wonderful. Pardon, pardon, Thy unworthy slave. We doubted Thee and Thy love." The moment when I read this, tears will come out. That means we forget, but God is there every time. Papa says it really imprinted. That means we should never think that God is not seeing. We should not doubt. He is there. He is there. He is there. This was one of the most important ones which imprinted on me.
Very good. Yes. Anything else during the 2 days?
Swamiji, what I have to learn is spontaneity. No pre-planning.
Good. Yes, that is covered.
Swamiji,
Hmm.
is it enough by just telling that God has done everything belongs to God? Is it really required through our heart?
It is required through heart. We should feel,
Yeah.
We should feel.
Yeah.
Even the very, very language is a gift of Him through somebody. Even the laptop through which we see now is a gift of somebody. That means through His creation. Always remember, we are trying to truly accept His creation as He.
Yeah.
When we go to the source of everything, we are not removing the creation. Through the creation we have given, every moment of our life, He is taking care of us through His creation. So that is why, the one point it was raised, we may not see God as we perceive. We may have some idea about God.
Yeah.
And we try to superimpose that idea on objects or persons or situations. We may not get it.
Yeah.
But suppose we try to accept, He is helping me through His creation. At least some creations are coming under that. Rest of the creation may be treated as individuals, okay. But to begin with, we are trying to understand through some creation. I'm using the respect now. I'm using the dress now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a chair now. I'm having electricity power now.
Yeah.
All these things, a flask is before me, plate is before me, Bluetooth is before me, like that, mic is before me, the dongle is before me. I have not brought anything to this world. So he provided me through his creation.
Yeah.
When we say first accept his creation, we see him through the creation. We see him through the creation. We see him through the creation. This is how the slowly, there are two tangible gains. One is me to be getting established. Another one is we are expanding our, we are trying to see him in the creation. Yeah, good.
And that explain, Swamiji, how can we get contact and directly communication with God? One must develop his own method. That was explained to us on 13.
Through creation you can first. When you try to see him through the creation, you are trying to establish a link between him.
Between him and do contact, direct dialogue.
And then direct.
Yes.
Even now it is direct. But we need something to remember, no?
Yes.
We have been thinking about individual.
Yes.
So we need some, at least we try to understand through a creation.
Yes.
Then slowly the link is established. Again, going back to 13th and 14th of January, please.
Hello, Swamiji. God listens to our prayers. If the needs are granted, let us think it is by His grace we got it and not as a result of our prayer.
Correct.
And one more point. Regarding visit to Anandashram, it was mentioned, God will arrange in His own way the initiation. Our approach should be, God made me to go to Anandashram and He has given the Ram Mantra, the all-powerful Ram Mantra, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai.
Correct.
Thank you. So one more point is, intellectually we know that Ram is everywhere, but practically we must do manana and achieve it up to your bond.
Right.
Swamiji, it was also covered, it was also covered that we should do the dharma like the judge. The example of the judge was given that he is not having any personal, grudges or something with the person. Yeah, the judge's example was given of how we should.
Yeah.
Swamiji.
I think everybody has closed the file and kept it. They are unable to open it.
Swamiji. Anything questions comes to our mind, we have to wait for the inner guidance. So for that, this mental chanting will be helpful. So adu practice panna adu slowly develop ஆகும்னு Swamiji சொல்றது ஞாபகம்.
Very good. Mental chanting.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
One tip we have given, Swamiji, that God is everywhere. Your very presence here is a proof of that. Because He prompted you, you are here. Otherwise, you is there. Tips to know that God is everywhere.
Okay. Dialogue with Him once a day through mental chanting. Nobody made a mention. Pray for feeling His presence within at least once a day. Create your own original prayer. Not to see faults which are there that came. Recede from the vanishing form came. Now, dialogue with Him once a day at least. I think that came. Pray for feeling His presence within at least once a day.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
Create your own original prayer. When we make an effort to make our own original prayer, we will see the difference. We may fail, we may forget, we may not be able to complete. Don't worry, even one line,
Yes, Swamiji. When we make our own prayer, it is so original and it comes from the heart in our mother tongue. When we speak to Papa, அது ஆத்மார்த்தமா உள்ளேந்து என்ன மனசுல தோன்றதோ அது அப்படியே சொல்றோம் சுவாமிஜி. அது ரொம்ப மனசுக்கு பீஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு, பாரம் எல்லாம் குறைஞ்சாப்புல இருக்கு மனசுல, அல்லவா? அப்படித்தானே?
ஆமா. We were mentioning all the prayers that we are repeating. we know that it was original. It came from their heart. So now the message is that you don't just repeat. You create your own, you try to bring out your own feelings in the form of a prayer. In your own language, Don't worry about anything else, whether the protocol or the officiality or the what should be first, what should be second, nothing. Just like a mother talking to, a child is talking to mother without any reservation.
Swamiji, even if it is selfish, is it okay? Our own prayer is...
Okay, he will accommodate, but check up whether it is going to help us. Selfish in the sense, I want God realization. If you call it as self, yes. I want concentration of mind. If that is selfish, yes. I want to make myself free from all the cravings and desires. If that is selfish, yes. No, like that you categorize.
Okay. Hari.
And on the 14th again, treat everything as a test, at least that phase. Sometimes you may not be able to bring in the fact that God is testing us. But can we accommodate everybody? Equanimity is yoga, as it came. Presence of God may not be in the way we perceive. And that also came. Self-effort is needed, but don't worry about the result. Place yours totally at the feet of God. Prayer with feelings in the original way. When we pray, whether it is heard or not, we carry on. Then start with what is happening now and here. That is also one month has gone. That why it has not been pointed out, So we are asking ourselves why it did not register in our mind. Because that means then only we will start. We will not postpone. I will do it tomorrow. No. Right from now and here. And then we move on to the fifth theme. Endurance can come only if we bring in the God, of everything. Endurance can come only if we bring in the God of everything. Remember your trying moments in your life and how God helped you sitting in the background. When God is taking care, why should you make arrangements for taking care of yourself? Reduce your wants to minimum. Spontaneity means no self-interest involved. Check whether the me and mine is there. Expand, feel inclusion. God is in the world acting through us. Hand over everything to Him and be cheerful always. Dedication of your thoughts, words and actions to Him. Quality, care and concern. Perfection. So these are very important points. We have covered this spontaneity. Reduce your wants to minimum. That also came. Simple life. Other than this or on this, anybody would like to share anything?
Swamiji, one more point. Positive approach.
Positive approach. Was there on 15?
No, it was on 13.
13, okay. Positive approach. Then.
Gauji. Spontaneity in a realism. Spontaneity. What is it? Spontaneity.
You are doing it spontaneously, no? You don't know that it is spontaneous. Suppose something has fallen, somebody is going to fall, you go and help him,
Oh, that is called thinking. Oh, without
thinking. Bothering whether you know him or not.
Oh, spontaneously.
Now and here.
Yeah. Then.
Thank you.
Hariom Swamiji. We should limit the bonds. Slowly get it reduced.
Yeah.
only we will realize when He has provided us everything, why should I worry about future?
Correct. Because He has provided everything, Which fact I don't recognize, I don't remember. Even now He is providing me oxygen. He is providing me the earth to sit. He is providing me the sun. He is providing me everything, I am not aware of it. When I know that He has provided everything for us, why should I bother? Of course, I can bother. He will not mind it. But let us try to understand that He is providing everything. Papa used to call Him a great provider. GNP capital. The great provider.
Swamiji. One more point. The episode at the Sanskrit college was discussed, and it was concluded that everybody looks at a situation from his or her angle, but we should wait and watch. The answer will be provided by God. We should not jump to any conclusion.
When devotee asked you, Papa is always happy, how is it possible for us to be like that? So you say, give everything to Papa, pray to Papa, to take care of everything and you can be happy. That's one point.
Okay. Swamiji, great void is a 13 and 14, great void.
Vandrika.
Great void, Vandrika, doubt, great void.
We are evaluating ourselves, whether we have been able to assimilate, absorb, understand, concentrate, register in our mind, What an elaborate work we have been doing for the last 1 month. Are we forgetting it?
No, Swamiji, we are not forgetting. You will not allow us to forget. That much we are grateful to. Yes. And it is happening day by day. We are remembering this is what Papa is meaning. And day-to-day incidences keep us reminding. So, one more point that was told was unconditional, cheerful acceptance. Whatever is happening.
Cheerful acceptance. Okay, very good. That is enough. If 1 or 2 words are there from one day, that is enough. That means, some effort is made on our part to absorb.
Swamiji, related to endurance, related to endurance, we learned that pain, when Papa gives us pain, it is not a punishment. It is an indication that we have to do some correction in our life. Yeah. It is not for punishment from Him. He is our well-wisher, He is our caretaker. So, when He gives some pain, it is indivisible part of our life for some correction.
Good. Anything else?
Disciplined life was one point, sorry. Disciplined life. Swamiji, He is provider and protector. Why should we worry? We should feel as carefree and safe as a child holding his hand by mother.
Yes. Everybody is touching the file, I can understand. At least now, please note down. Those of us who have not made a note of it, either during the time of discussion or immediately after that, before the mind forgets, we make a note. Because there should be some start, some starting point.
There are 2 ways of leaving everything in the hands of God, like either a cat and kitten or a monkey and baby monkey. Monkey. How the baby monkey holds the mother monkey and the cat is taking the kitten.
Correct. Yes.
Swamiji,
Ah.
like Swamiji once told us, we should not only be aware that whenever there is problem, God comes to our rescue. That we can immediately see and understand. And we should not only see that and stop with that. We should be aware that He is also with us, watching us all the time and protecting us. And in that, we should be aware of that. Not only when we are in trouble, but all the time He is watching and we should be aware of that.
Yeah. Then at the time also we will remember.
Yes.
Feeling His presence, Swamiji. Feeling His presence. Feeling His presence. You should pray to make us feel His presence.
No, feelingly pray.
Feeling His presence. And remembrance of Him is main thing. Remembrance of God is main thing. In spiritual, remembrance of always remembering Him.
Swamiji,
Ah.
Ram is in all is in Ram, Ram is all in all.
Swamiji, inclusion. Accept everyone, whether praising or criticizing him.
Inclusion. It's a beautiful word. All sadhakas should keep on remembering and reminding. If inclusion gets stamped in our heart, then the absence of otherness automatically happens. Nobody is a stranger to us. It's a difficult thing, but we will try. We keep on trying. At least that idea should be there, inclusion. The whole IQG, nobody was a stranger to him. Absolutely. Everybody, there was inclusion, expansive inclusion. The more you expand, more you are with so many of His creation. These are all IQG pearls, I would say, pearls, We should never forget. Good.
Swamiji, inclusion expansion of our love circle and Maria.
எல்லாரையும் group.
எல்லாமும்
கிளாஸ்ல காப்பி குடிச்சா அந்த கிளாஸும் கூடி இன்க்ளூஷன், பிளேட் கிளம்பி வைக்கிறது இன்க்ளூஷன், எல்லாத்தையுமே nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant, nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. If you go through that, first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, everywhere you will find that.
For this, we have to start in a small way, Swamiji. We go to ashram, we go to office, we travel in a bus, sometimes we go by flight. Then we start thinking, all of us have a common goal, we have a common purpose. We go in the common direction. Our thinking is common. So like that, slowly we have to develop that oneness. We live in the same street. We have the same problems. Like that, we start slowly. Wherever we go in a group or we meet people, we all start feeling we have something common. So many things in common. So we are all one. Like that, slowly
when we try to do a little bit of research in the word inclusion, we will come to know that all are basically, intrinsically, essentially noble and great. Suppose you are cleaning only your room, you will immediately feel, at least he is cleaning his room, he is taking care of his family, that way you will find. He is attending to those wants. So like that, we will not see it as a negative thing. We will see it as a positive thing. Because we have only love for everybody. God is making them to take care of their family. God is making them to plan for something. Okay, it's alright. He may not know, but God is making, So as far as we are concerned, as spiritual aspirants, everybody is included. this way, all have relevance. The great designer, the great provider, the great the life force, it is there equally in everybody, motivating them, prompting them to take up that. So everybody is included. Pujya Swami used to say, nobody is a stranger. So this 13th and 14th and 15th, we have now done. We are not fully satisfied because many have not still come forward. Probably they would not have made a note. So that means, Papa wants every one of us to go through it, register something. At least one from one day, All points we may not be able to remember. At least 1 point per one day. Then the whole exercise is valid. Otherwise we may feel the exercise is also becoming superficial. That should not happen. We are on an in-depth study, So, every chapter has given us some clues. And though we did not specify during our monthly, daily, that it should be in the chronological order, anybody can pick anything from any part. What is more important is whether the points are getting registered enough, and with the help of Ramnam, are we trying to implement, are we trying to make it a reality in our life? This is the purpose of in-depth study. We are not going to get a doctorate from somebody, but we are going to definitely get a doctorate from him. If we try to make an in-depth study and make an earnest effort to make it a reality in our life. This is what he will observe. When he has provided all facilities, more than 51 people are now attending, directly now. I don't know about indirectly. So these 55 people, if they jot down 1 point, per day, just imagine the impact of it. And when we collectively pool, everybody can, I would not have remembered this point. Somebody would have remembered this point. Like that, we are trying to pool. So there is an individual sadhana, there is a collective sadhana. So that we ensure that the day's satsang does not just fade away from our memory. So kindly cool in, all are attentively, earnestly taking part. It has been a lively session throughout, but the lively session should also get registered,
Swamiji,
otherwise, the incentive will not be there. And everybody should participate. Why the reluctance? Only few people are telling. Everybody should come in their own way. We don't stand on any formality. All of us are equal. All of us are trying to reach the goal. So there need not be any reservation.
Swamiji, you are reading Papa, Papa saying, Papa was seeing Ram in many places. Bullock cart, train, aeroplane, college, hospital, that you were going on reading. It was very touching, Swamiji. You are seeing Ram in different places, which we also go, marketplace, house, like that. You are reading for many times. So it was also very interesting. If he reach that stage, really will be in bliss. That only we can get understand. You are seeing everywhere. We described very nicely, and you are reading that word many times.
Swamiji, I started writing now, as after you. Till now I didn't. I used to listen, whatever I did. But I started now. What best I can, I try to jot it down, put it, so that because in between there was a call, because as a teacher there is a call, meeting, so many things. But what, as I said, even 1 point, I try to put it. Today I wrote it as this is revising the point on January 13th and 14th for this. I started keeping one by one. Till now I didn't do it, and to the extent I have tried.
Somebody has jotted down, taken the pain, jotted down, heard, probably I don't know how she brought it out, but some pain, some efforts are made. That effort will definitely have its own impact. Not that we are going to make it a reality straight away by hearing it. But these are all the processes. First hearing. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. No? So this Manana has to take place. Churning has to take place. And the churning comes out in the form. So first when we hear, we jot down. Then we do Manana. Then Nididhyasana. Slowly it becomes a part of our life. So now let us all become a little more serious. The session has been lively, but the session should not become a faded one. Each session, everybody is bringing out valid points, vital points, salient points, very important points. So at least one point, if I remember from one day's session, is going to help me a lot. Tomorrow we'll go through the 15, 17 and 18. Like that 3 days we will try to go through. And from today onwards, you kindly make a point. And I would request everybody to come out, Though it may not be possible for 50 people to say, doesn't matter, you try as much as, at least one point, we will have it. At least, now there is a participation, first chance. And the participation becomes more lively when they all travel together with Manana. Not merely Savana. This is my humble request.
Swamiji, so far we have read these books, but now because of this satsang, our way of looking at the life becomes very, very different.
Right.
But whatever was hurting us does not hurt us anymore. It becomes much, much more tolerable. Whatever we have read so far, Papa's books and all, but because of this satsang and interaction and Swamiji's explanation, everything becomes more tolerable and life gives us a different picture altogether. Much, much tolerable. A very different angle looking at the life.
Very, very, very. Yes.
Swamiji, I was also noting down, but off and on is a point that I found very now
okay.
Do it.
One point a day, We are not asking at 1 point a day. You put everything together and 1 point you select. That is enough. That 1 point will definitely percolate. Somewhere we have to make a beginning. How are we to do it? So suppose when we hear mental chanting, we do that mental chanting and find something. We share. That means we have not only done the Savana, but Manana and Nididhyasana also take place. The very purpose of God arranging all these things, in an elaborate way. How many people you all people sitting in different places, assemble exactly at 4 o'clock, and 4 to 5 you sit and take part in it in a nice manner. And so then it should not go as a closed file. It won't be a closed file, but we have to somehow open it and then it will think, oh, correct, this was discussed. Otherwise again it goes back. The moment you close the file and keep it finished, it has to be opened. Because Papa's teachings are pearls, treasures. We want as many people to get access to it. Not merely at the superficial level. Not a single point he has omitted. Anything, we have to go to his 5 or 6 books, immediately he answers. So such precious things, we should make use of it for our spiritual journey and to make our Ramna more and more effective. All this, will culminate in making our Ramna more effective. So far we have been chanting at a different level. Now we are chanting at an altogether different level. That witness consciousness, meditative chanting, that is the ultimate result. We did not apply our mind on that. We thought, chanting is okay, and that's all things we are trying to do as much as possible. No. Now he is also restless because we are not showing pain. So he said, no, you have this meditative chanting. You hold on to the Ram Nam. Your grip should not be loosened. No doubt about it. Because that is the one thing which has taken us and which will take us further.
Swamiji, also start with a prayer.
Yes.
And chant, bringing about all the attributes of God. These are the steps that you have given us. How can we forget that, Swamiji? We will not.
Prayer is also good.
Now it has become our daily brush and paste. Daily thing it has become.
Tomorrow also we will start with prayer. Okay. Our session will start with prayer. Prayer from the bottom of the heart. We may be using, before we close, we happen to go through one Mahatma saying, it is very, very relevant. All our, including ourselves, everything has come from intelligence, God. Everything has come from intelligence, God, And we are trying, that means, original. And we are trying to copy somebody. He has brought it beautifully. Everything is original. Whatever we use, it is original. It has come from somebody. But what we are trying now, we are trying to copy. Simple word. A mighty intelligence has created this universe and here. And I was living like a robot. I wondered if there was a deeper significance to life. That is how we started changing, This Mahatma turn came when he started looking at the whole creation, including himself. Pujya Shetty says, the wisdom necessary to fertilize an egg and turn it into a fully grown man or woman is beyond our intelligence. So like that, we just look at the whole creation. It has come from original intelligence. And what can we do? Have we tried to touch the original aspect in us? There are so many quotations are there. And Papa wants that. He said you must develop witness consciousness. That is the cream of intelligence, So in the Nama chanting, you must develop witness consciousness, stand apart from the movements of the mind and watch it. If you do so, the mind will become still in no time. Develop this witness consciousness, constant repetition of Ram Nam is of great help. Witness consciousness cannot come all of a sudden. Long and continued practice of Ram Nam is absolutely essential. Constant remembrance of the divine will gradually develop into that consciousness in which you can live and move. And everything has come from that consciousness. Everything. So we will along with whatever, this should be in our background while chanting. You are there behind my chanting. You are intelligence absolute. You are awareness absolute. You are love absolute. Kindly make me aware at least not 1% of what you are, make me aware. A prayer. Something like that you will devise. So from tomorrow onwards you will make it a little more, We left ashram on 5th of January. And 5th of January we couldn't talk to you, but from 6th onwards, though we traveled many places now, it is hard to it that not a single day is missed, even because of the programs or our traveling. We have been watching this. So no matter whether you are in this place or that place, whether the place is conducive or not, still you ensure that this 4 to 5 goes on uninterruptedly. Even when we went to Kumbakonam, we went to Trichy or anywhere, no. All those days, 4 to 5, somewhere we will put up, make all arrangements and somehow to meet you all. Sunday is interrupted. So only Sunday was interrupted. Sunday was the only exception. Mind you, we have been traveling a lot. But still, we are conducting programs. So many things were going on during this period. But not a single day. Even when we were Satsang with people, 4 to 5 exclusively set up. They will also hear. When we went to Prem Nagar, suddenly everybody will stop. 4 to 5 will start. Whether it is in Karthik's house, whether it is in Shanmugam's house, whether it is in Trichy house, whether it is on the road, in Srirangam. I don't know whether you remember. We were in Srirangam at exactly the 4 o'clock. Immediately somebody went and tried whether there is a building here. Then finally we thought, it was very hot also. But inside the car, we somehow got connected. Then we told everybody, half an hour please you give. We will be in some place from there, we will get in touch with you, and we were able to. And next day we have to go to some other place, some program, but evening again, 4 to 5. Like that, total disregard to the travel or programs or anything. He ensured that the 4 to 5 is kept up regularly. So let us make use of it now. Let us not, when he has organized so many things for us, when he is bringing out such brilliant thoughts through devotees. So kindly note down what is one prominent thought shared on one day. We are in the second month in the centenary, Sanya centenary, in-depth study. We are in the second month now, January, February. We will try to collect as much as possible from our mind, place it, and from today onwards, we will have one out of all the discussions we have, one prominent vital point that we discuss. That may be noted, and no matter whether it is repetition or not, we would request everybody to come out with that.
We are all trying, Swamiji. We are learning. I am learning. I am sincere. Please accept my lacunae.
Nobody questions about that. You will not say no.
Thank you.
What happy to be expressed. Swamiji, we are experiencing consciousness whenever we walk from here to either Ramana building or Banhart. Or I may fall down, I got 2 feet with me. I am singing. I should not fall down. Be conscious. I am conscious. I think this consciousness is God. I am thinking like that. Every step I am thinking, this is God only. Guiding me like that. In any form.
It is working, Swamiji. It is working, Swamiji.
Working, right. Okay.
So it is not that we are missing. Each day what you are telling is working. So now, as I said, I can, but only thing is we will be missing meetings or this or that because as speeches we will have. But whatever best I can, and just try to write it from now. I started, I will do what best, and I try to recollect it whenever required.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow. We will see on the 16th was 16, 17, 18. What did we share? Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Hari Om Daddy, Hari Om.
Jai Ram.
Hari Om Daddy.
Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Ram Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.